Hey folks, just finished a leap call, and here I am back on the Idea Explosion challenge. It's a coaching call. Started 2.5 hours ago. Went through a workshop exercise called Design to Discovery, which was very enlightening for me as well. I had a new insight today, which was exciting. And today I am, as ever, well, not actually as ever, but as is my daily practice, I am splurging. So I'm on day 2 and of my Idea Explosion Challenge, which is a program that I'm doing. And wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, I've just got to get my chat up. It was working a second ago. Hi folks, good to see you on here. Just give me 2 secs while I sort this out. Had a wibble. Please don't log me out. Oh, well done. It didn't log me out. Hooray! So, splurging. Good to see you all on here. And how many people on here are actually doing the Idea Explosion Challenge right now? Just type in the chat. Hello, Ron. Ron got 2 splurges in today between getting out of work and the live stream here. Brilliant, nice one. Just get them in. Hey, ADTP UK, I think that's what it is. Hey, the amount that it is doesn't matter. Yeah, a splurge can be anything. Obviously, if a splurge is just like one kick drum, that's going to be of limited benefit. But you never know, actually. Just one sound can get you going, right? And the idea of the splurge isn't to necessarily finish anything, although you can occasionally just splurge an entire track out. That does happen from time to time. The purpose of a splurge is simply to splurge. So hello Fred, and hello Douglas. Fantastic. So I'm just going to get on with it because this is going to be a shorter one today. My ones on this day are going to be shorter for this program because I have Sundays and Mondays as my days with family, so I'm already in trouble for doing this now, because right now I really ought to be upstairs. But anyway, I am going to splurge right now. So I found there's this sound. So if you have any questions at any point, please feel free to ask. As I said, I'm going to try and make this one about half an hour, so it won't be my usual marathon 2 to 3 hours. Right, let's call it 60. Alright, so when it's at this speed, sometimes I wonder whether I do it double speed or half time. Because 62 is also 124 BPMs, right? Why is the chat not updating? That's strange. There we go. We should do it. Okay. Maybe that will do it. Anyway. There we go. Can I make a video about Trello? So, when you say about Trello, I guess what you're referring to is about how I use Trello. I can show you how I use Trello right now. I wonder which screen it's going to land on. You never know. Okay, so this is the automatic music machine. And here you can see the different columns are referring to the different buckets. Yeah, these over here. Don't worry about these three over here. The different buckets of the automatic music machine. Yeah. So we've got ideas, and what ideas are just like, I don't know, if you have anything from like a lyric idea, if you're writing songs, to like just something you kind of sing in the street. I mean, that could be defined as a splurge, but not really, because you're not exactly splurging. So, you know, you just have an idea. Or sometimes I'll have an idea that I've got from listening to a podcast where someone's been talking about their process. I'm like, oh, that would make a cool little game to try. To, you know, like it's almost like a conceptual idea. Well, if I take that bass line from this track I wrote before, but just do it in this style, that would be a cool idea. So that's like a conceptual idea. So that's what this ideas is. The other thing that the ideas column contains are like, so this is a DFAM jam that I did, and I think it's about like probably 20 minutes long or something. Let's find out. Yeah, so it's like 20 minutes, so that as well. And obviously that isn't a track in itself, but it contains raw materials, found sounds ideas as well, if you're recording field recordings and something like that. Yeah. Then we have the sketchbook, which is where we keep all of the splurges and ideas that we've worked on, yeah, in here, and we can move in and out of there. This is like the gold mine. This is my gold mine. It's a joyous thing. With the sketchbook, it's not a bin. It is not a trash bin. And I keep everything in the sketchbook, even the stuff I don't like. So anything that doesn't have a label on it, I've decided not to move forward. Look how many things I've decided not to move forward, which is absolutely fine, because I'm splurging every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Yeah. But the reason I keep them in there, and I've even got this thing over here called Lucky Dip. So when I press Lucky Dip over here, this button here, you might not be able to see that. Actually, let me just move that over. This button here called Lucky Dip, I've set it up so that it randomly selects a card in my sketchbook. Hopefully it works. Yeah, there we go. And then I listen to it. Yeah. Now I'm going to send that back to the sketchbook. In fact, I'll listen to it later. Okay. Because then it's just a way of listening to ideas. Because often what you consider a bad idea is simply an idea you don't know what to do with yet. That often happens. Yeah. So that's why I don't have a trash bin. Everything goes in the sketchbook. Yeah. It's like this kind of melting pot of all of the ideas that you've ever had, good and bad, which just creates this. You start to create all kinds of connections. It's a really wonderful thing, actually. I love the sketchbook. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. So that's the sketchbook. And then over here, we have Splurge. And that's where you do all your splurges, and you splurge into there. And each of these is a card. And each card has an attachment, which is the actual track. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the Discover, Draft, and Done columns are where that's the in progress part of the machine. Oh, didn't mean to do that. That's the in progress part of the machine. And essentially, you do different things in Discover, Draft, and Done. I haven't got time to fully go into that now, but essentially, they describe almost every creative process that there is, whether it's writing a book, building a business, sort of coming up with it. Yeah, it's just almost anything. Yeah. And then obviously, when it's ready to release, it goes into release. And then when it has been released, it goes into released. So essentially, it's a way of tracking what you are doing in the process. Inside here, you can also do checklists. Yeah, and here you can see each session that I do has an attachment. So this has been a difficult child, which I really, really am into now. But I've done, so here you can see I've done 1, 2, 3, 27, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like 27 to 30 sessions on that. Yeah. But now I have I mean, it's just interesting sometimes to go back and find out where it started and how it kind of developed. So that's how I use Trello. That's essentially the automatic music machine, which is what the thing I teach at the start of the Leap. So Electroflux is asking, Electroflux is a leaper. where would you suggest putting the different Splurge games templates that are created over time? In your templates folder. It doesn't matter. I mean, I just keep all my templates in Logic. Hang on. Yeah. And it's a real mess. Yeah. So you can see all the different templates that I've used since I came back to making music. The other thing that I'm going to do actually, which I probably want to tell you about, is I'm probably starting tomorrow, is I'm actually going to do some splurges in Ableton as well, because I want people, so for instance Douglas, I know Douglas is sort of learning, Ableton is learning lots of things, so I want to show how splurging can kind of help you get better at the tools. It's a really good way of learning the tools without having to spend hours and hours going in front of tutorials, because while I have used Ableton a lot in the past, I haven't used it since I've come back to making music. So really the last time I properly used Ableton was in 2011. So I thought it'd be quite interesting for you to see me splurging in something which I've hardly used. So it's kind of more of a learning process. So this is very, let me just get Windows comments and reactions. There we go. Right, Douglas is saying, it's a very, very good comment there. Douglas from Facebook is saying, today was an odd day. I woke up in a bad mood and thought I'll have a day off. After a couple of hours, I then thought I don't need a day off. I did a couple of splurges. Yes. So mood does not want to be a reason to make music or not make music. Yeah, like you can make great music in a bad mood, and you can make terrible music in a good mood. There isn't a correlation there. Yeah. So we don't want to put I'm not in the mood as a barrier to making music. We want to do it daily, no matter what, even if it's just 5 minutes. Quick 5 minute splurge, because there's a magic to it. There really, really is. Okay. Just check see anything else. So is this MIDI coming in? Yeah. Okay. Let's turn that down. Start again. Click. Where are you? Camera. Hey, Flex. Right. Now, I'm sure we've all heard many parts like that. It's not like an earth-shaking, earth-shattering idea of amazingness by any stretch of the imagination. But that's not the point. Oh, what? Interesting. Just want to make sure it plays at the start, but it's not playing for some reason. What have I done wrong? Hang on a minute, I've got it in the wrong thing. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. So MIDI issue. I spent Sunday setting up Ableton, ready for this doing it in Ableton thing, and that means I changed the MIDI channel. There we go. Yeah. How do I find the new update? Do you mean to Logic? I haven't even looked into it. I mean, I've noticed it. Ooh. And yeah, I've noticed it, but I've not used it. I'm more focused on just making music at the moment. So what's going on, dude? I'm making an idea. Now, I'm not usually into sounds like this. It's a bit like a flute, isn't it? It's not really my thing. But I just thought I'd give it. I just thought, well, why not? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. My favourite phrase when it comes to making music. Right. Right. What's going on? Alright, I'll quit you then. Alright, hang on, just go back to I've got a problem with console 1. I have to sort this out later. Ongoing technical issues. Let's get rid of console 1. Off everything. There we go. Open. Oh, that's funny. Jace saying, that moment when you realise you've spent 90% of your day either making splurges or watching Mike make them. Well, at least you'd be making splurges and not just been watching me. That would be a disaster. Yes, Nat, the sound is being generated by the Prophet. Correct. No, please don't. You don't need to excuse your ignorance whatsoever. I'm extremely ignorant about many things. It needs no excuse. I think I might have to change the volume of everything now because of that. Okay. Boom. 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 This one's making me think of my children. when they're not screaming blue murder. Okay, so this one's making me think of an idealized version of my children. Maybe that's how I should say it. Wrong note there, gonna leave it in. Let's see if I can use a different sound in Omnisphere this time. Why is that chat not displaying the messages properly? There we go, it's working. Yes. All sorts of wrongness in that piano part, but I'm just leaving it. Epsilon time, how about that? So, question. Hello, Rob, by the way. How do, Rob? Filippo says, hi, I'm in my second round of the Idea Explosion Challenge. I'm starting some of my splurges, putting an almost random loop on a track in the door and using it as a starting inspiration point. What do you guys think about it? I think that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea. It's a wonderful idea. In fact, do you know the Output Arcade stuff? It's basically a sample library just with a nice front end on it. You know, kind of, yeah. It's just a cool thing. I mean, I'm not being paid, by the way, by Output to do this, but this thing. I haven't used it for a while actually, but it's really good. Hello, what's going on? Come on, arcade. There we go. Oh, there's an update. There we go. So anyway, I used this for a while to start loads and loads of splurges. Like what I would do is I just go like, right, I'm just going to go there, and then I'm just going to choose this one. I haven't downloaded them, but let's say I had. Actually, let's just go to one I have downloaded. Right, I'm just going to choose a random one. Yeah. I'm not going to do it now, but come on, what's going on? Is that it? Oh yeah, there. And then I would just choose one of the sounds. Yeah. Well, not choose. I would just randomly go until I hit on a sound. I would start, and then that would be the start. So it's a really good idea. Did my Thunderbolt cable arrive? It did. I am now speaking through, it arrived last week actually, I'm now speaking through my Apollo X6, which is why I am able now to have all 1, 2, 3, 4 bits of hardware and my mic coming out, and I don't have to use the evil little box of doom which I was using before in order to make this work. So yeah, no, in addition to your template. Okay. Cool. I'm glad Jabolch, that yeah, no, that's good. Definitely having things on in the background. Sometimes just a random sound will almost like a, I don't know, a lorry going past or something will kind of make something happen. It's amazing where inspiration can be found. Hang on a minute. Wrong one. Studio cam. Now. That's actually quite similar to the other sound, isn't it? But let's go with it. You can use your own samples in Arcade too, actually. Do you find that when sometimes the thing that you're playing is too loud, you end up not listening to anything else? Yeah, we have a joke in the community. This is advert at the moment. I won't say who it is, but there's an advert out there at the moment, which is with 4 million samples, what will you make today? And it's for some sample library, and my answer to that is 4 million samples, absolutely nothing. So yeah, but the way of getting around that is just to use the first thing that comes up, not to try and find something. It's just to go and then use the first thing that comes up. In which case, it can be a great tool. You want to be careful though with too many sounds. Like, yeah, I'll make something after I have been through all 4 million, so I can choose the best one. That would obviously be ridiculous, but it would also be the very, very worst thing that you can do. But it's just quite a funny little advert because for me, that's like 4 million sounds. Ah, run away. Anyway, so. That's what's going on. So that needs to start not there. That's the problem. Right, it starts on the... This is often the difficulty with just playing things in, kind of like I do, just go and just play, like go with what comes out, which is increasingly becoming my go-to method. Is that things tend to be not, things tend to be not on the grid. 8 bars, 8 bars, 8 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, 4 bars. It tends not to be like that, which is great. But in terms of actually kind of like putting the parts together, often things can get out of whack, which can work really well. It can be really, really cool. But sometimes it's just like, hang on a minute, what's going on? Sometimes I get like 7 bar patterns, which I really, 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 I'm into. I've got nothing against 7 bar patterns. I like 7 bar patterns. Don't worry, 7 bar patterns. I like you very much. But obviously, when you've got 7 bar patterns with 8 bar patterns and you've got tonal things going on, sometimes it can create some issues. So, right. Keep forgetting to do the camera. Sorry about that. Right, it's time to go, I believe. Okay, so that started on that bar there. So that's the 5th bar. So I'm going to move that over to the 5th bar there. Again, you'll notice that when I'm actually laying, when I'm in air quotes arranging, I'm just doing a lot of it visually. I'm not really listening to it. I mean, I did make sure, for instance, I didn't make the same mistake that I did with this part here, which is that it's coming like, so I played that according to what was going on in this sequence. Yeah. So I made sure I started it at the right point so that it kind of fit. Yeah. But I'm not worried about, oh, does this need to come in with that, and does that need to go there? I'm just like putting the stuff in. Yeah, again, this is like a potter throwing their clay on the wheel. Nothing more, nothing less. Actually, it can be something more. Sometimes it ends up being more, but most of the time it doesn't, which is fine. So let's get the defam going. What I might do is see if there's anything on the SH7. And camera. Synthcam. Hello, Synthcam. Are we there? Yeah, we are. I'll just turn you up a bit. Now you can see my roof. How about that? I try and avoid my roof. Don't know why. Anyway, so let's press play. So Rob's asking about Trello. So Trello is a software, so you can get that for free. So the Trello is just a tool that I use, like I use YouTube to stream videos to. Yeah. So Trello isn't my thing. Trello is a goodness no. Yeah, Trello's not mine. So you can get Trello and you can use it for anything. I use it for all kinds of things. I use it for various different things in terms of running my business. So it's a software tool. It's like a, how would you describe it? I don't know. It's a planning team product. I mean, people use it in all kinds of different ways. It's great. It's on your phone. It's on desktop. You can use it in a browser as well. It's on an iPad and Android and everything like that. So, but I just used Trello as the thing to track, in this case, the music running through the machine, and then in terms of the thing that I do with it, I've described that on day 11 of the Idea Explosion Challenge program. So I don't show you how I use Trello because it's a whole involved thing that I teach in, a much more intense program called the Leap, which is 8 weeks long. Which the final 2 weeks aren't about that, but the first 6 weeks are kind of showing you the full automatic music machine system. And Trello isn't the system. Trello is simply the thing we use to track the system. It's a visual aid so that we know where the music is. But if you want to download Trello, the software, the app, and start using it, and then combine that with the day 11 video where I show you the basic automatic music machine, how it basically works, then that's where to start. Okay. And TJ, otherwise known as Electroflux, is saying, have I got any videos on arranging a more structured 4x4 track? I'd like to see how you approach that. I mean, really, TJ, it's the same. There's no difference. I think sometimes, TJ, you get too focused on the little details and on getting a piece of information which is not required. Yeah, so I structure a 4x4 thing in exactly the same way as I structure this. It's just that it happens to be 4x4. There's no difference. Visually arrange, yeah. This is a piece of information you don't need. You really don't. I cannot imagine a world in which that would be useful to you with what you already know. By the way, TJ, I know TJ is a leaper, so I know him well, spoken to him many times. Yeah, so he's in the community. So TJ, stop acquiring information. Yeah, there does come a point at which acquiring more information isn't going to help you. Yeah, I would recommend that. You're always asking about, how do you do this? How do you do that? Why do I do that? Why do I do this? Yeah, it's like that's not where you're going to get the most value. So just think, yeah. So what am I doing? Oh yeah, SH7. Synthcam. Maybe I'll call these different cams names. Can we come up with some names? We've got synth cam, we've got studio cam, and we've got computer cam. Maybe we can come up with some cool names for them. Bertha or something. Yes, I know you were curious, TJ. You're always curious about these unimportant bits of information. Be more curious about things which are more important.